Hello and welcome. This weekend is the last round of this year's Financial Modeling World Cup, and we've been told there's going to be a big question worth more than half the marks on three-statement modeling, somewhat similar in spirit to case 3 from round 3 of last year. So I'm going to give that one a go now. I probably don't have time to finish it all, but I'm going to see what I can get to in 45 minutes or so, which is a little aggressive for this case, but maybe. I've had a quick look through some of the instructions to start, so I'm gonna dive right in. Let me just show you quickly. We've got P&L projections set up but not filled in, balance sheet projections set up but not filled in, and we're told the only thing we're missing is the opening cash balance and no cash flow projection. So just start my timer, see how we do. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do obviously is fill in the cash. So cash is going to be 1.25 million to make the balance sheet balance, because that's what it's off by right now. And then for all the balance sheet items, I'm going to start with a default of carry it across. Basically the idea being nothing happens on the balance sheet means everything stays the same. Nothing happens on the income statement means everything is zero. So, and then finally I'm going to add cash flow. Oh, and I'll just leave it very simple for now. I'll say net income. I guess we can do it for here as well. And let's just hide all these other columns so I can move around more easily. And then I'll just say adjustments here. I'll leave a bunch of blank space and then net cash flow, opening, closing. And then we'll refine this as we go. But if I do it this way, it'll allow me to make sure that my balance sheet stays balanced as I make changes. So the opening is going to be the previous period's closing, and then that plus that going to give me the closing. And then I'll carry both of those across, and then I will link, this down to there. Okay, so now I'm ready to start making some reporting schedules. I'll copy this sheet because it has some useful formatting. I'll just call this sched. So I'll start with the revs. Actually, let's start with indices because I think we've got some inflation and other things. I'm going to put this next to assumptions, call this A, trick I picked up from Lawrence, pretty helpful to make references short. So we've got, sorry, where are we? What are my percentages? Okay, so, never mind. So domestic volume. I'm starting with revenues after all. So 2020, it's that, and then this times 1 plus this growth rate. And so where's my capacity? Here we are. Okay, capacity. So then this is going to be the smaller of this and that. Okay, foreign volume. And that's going to start off at 2 million, and then it's going to be the smaller of that times 1 plus the foreign sales growth rate. And then it will be the smaller of that and total capacity minus capacity used domestically. Okay. Then domestic price. Price starts off here and grows at this rate. Foreign price. to stop caring about my spelling in this context, but never mind. Sometimes I can't help being pedantic. Probably a good thing in general for a financial modeler, but never mind. Okay, so then dom rev, var rev. That's going to be domestic volume times domestic price. Hopefully that will foot back to 70 and 8. Foot back to here, and it does good. Happy days. So then I can pop those in here. And then does my balance sheet balance? It does not now. And that's because I've got my net income is going to go into my retained earnings. So I'm just basically going to kind of do the minimum amount of plumbing to keep my balance sheet balancing as I go along. So that's that. Revenue's done. Okay, so next thing is costs. Cost. Okay, so we've got three kinds of costs. We've got the question materials printed here. Three kinds of costs: material, direct labor, other direct costs. Where are these? Those are here. Oh, and I'm going to need somewhere here total volume actually produced, which is the sum of those two. Okay, happy days. So then, let's see. Yeah, let's start with this. And then this times 1 plus, where is it? Where is it? Here, cost inflation. Lock in the row. Okay. And then that here, it's just going to be this times total volume. Come on, yes. Oh. Fine. F32. Okay. So then where's my cost of materials here? 20.9, 25.3, 8.8. Good. Happy days. So just take all of that, drop it in there. Balance sheet should still balance. Yes. Okay. Indirect manufacturing costs. Is this? That just grows at the same growth rate. Yes. 1 plus. Probably would have been smarter to set up a cost index, but I don't know. Trying to be fast. Sometimes that makes you dumb. Not necessarily worth it. Okay. That's indirect costs. Administration, payroll, and other indirect costs are both also just fixed numbers. This times 1 plus this. Okay, payroll and other SG&A. Okay, then marketing costs. I think it's just a fixed percent of something. Sales revenues. Okay, so it's revenues. Total revenues times 2% for marketing costs. Lock that in. Carry it across. Never mind. I spend too much time formatting when I'm in a hurry. Okay, so now we've got costs done. Let's look at working capital, accounts receivable. Three work cap. So AR, inventory, and AP. So first we're going to have days, and we're told they start at one place and get to another. Oh, we've actually got the details already put in here. Fine. So let's just, yeah, let's just make it there anyway. It'll make it a little easier to reference. So then the actual amounts. Oh, I guess I need days and year. So that's going to be this minus G4 plus 1. I don't know why I put brackets there. Not needed at all. Okay. Then AR, inventory, AP. So accounts receivable is going to be this over this times revenue. Should have just put in a total revenue line, but never mind. Get some formatting here. Okay, then this one is based on total manufacturing costs. What are your total manufacturing? Okay, so that's 4. Fine. So we'll just reference it over to here. 21, carry across. And then accounts payable is based on total manufacturing and SG&A costs. Fine. So it's just this times manufacturing costs for the year plus SG&A costs for the year. Carry across. Okay. So now I'm going to need to link those into the balance sheet and then also into the cash to make it make sense. So accounts receivable, good sense check, it hasn't changed dramatically. Inventory, oops, daisy, again, hasn't changed dramatically. That makes me feel a little good. Accounts payable, about 5, yes, about 5, happy days. Okay, so then change in working capital. No, I don't have the old ones there, so we'll do it there. Okay, so the assets, we're going to go old minus new, old minus new, and then for the liability, we'll go new minus old. And now my balance sheet balances again. Hooray! Okay, so that's working capital. Next page of the instructions. CapEx and depreciation. Okay. Assets. Straight line depreciation. Existing assets depreciate over the next 10 years. So existing. Opening, depreciation, closing. So closing, I can just take from here. Fixed assets. That. Intangible assets is maybe different. Yes. Okay, so sorry. Existing, fixed, existing, intan. Okay, and I'm going to be lazy about this and not even do a check for the max because I know that the model only goes 5 years, but obviously in a real model you'd want to be a little more diligent than that. And this one is over 7. Again, I should really also link it to the assumptions tab where it has that number, but I'm in a hurry, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, so new CapEx. So opening, CapEx, depreciation, closing. CapEx. Okay. So obviously closing in 20 is 0 because new refers to new after that. And this is just the sum of those. So then CapEx here, good. Replacement fixed assets, capacity expansion into, okay, whoop. So replacement fixed assets depreciated over 5 years. Starting in the next year, fine. Expansion happens in 23. Depreciated over 12.5 years. Cash outflows last day of the year. CapEx numbers are real. Don't forget to apply cost inflation. Okay, fine. So this is why I should have had a cost index, but never mind. So I'm just going to say 1 plus this times this. Start at 1. Again, I'm being super sloppy about my formatting, but I'm trying to go fast, so it is what it is. So these are the real, the nominal numbers. Okay. Intangible asset investment, oh, it's 0. Okay, fine. So I don't need to do anything with that. So new CapEx 1 and new CapEx 2. Oops, 2. Okay. So CapEx is this line here and this line here. And then the depreciation is, what do we say? Over 5 years for that one, and over 12.5 years for that one. Okay, so just, and we're told when you don't depreciate it in the first year, it happens at the end of the year. So it's this, sorry, it's going to be sum of this over 5. And we'll lock in here. And we'll put a minus. Okay, that looks about right. And then here we'll say sum of this dollar over 12.5, and again we'll put a minus. Okay, happy days. So now we need to drop those into the balance sheet. Fixed assets are going to be the original fixed assets plus the new fixed assets. Are these both going to fixed? Yes. So plus both kinds of new fixed assets. Carry that across. Balance sheet doesn't balance anymore. We'll come back to that. Intangibles. Where are we here? What? Oh, that's definitely wrong. Must have locked something. Yes, I did lock something that I should not have. So I meant to lock the column, shouldn't have locked the row, so that needs to point to row 67. Carry that across, that looks much better. So then we'll take this, carry across. So a couple of things I need to do here. One, I need to feed my depreciation and amortization line. So this is going to be, we've got a negative sign, so minus that, plus this is amortization, so this plus this. And then this one is going to be minus this. Okay. Then add back d plus a equals, oops, sorry, this plus this, because those are non-cash. Then capex, I'll take from here plus here. I'm sorry, again, I'm going to need to flip the sign on that, because that's cash going out the door. And now my balance sheet balances again. Hooray! Okay, so next is debt. 5 debt. Senior loan. And again, we'll do opening, repayment, closing to the draw. No. Okay, good. And then interest. So the closing, we can take from the balance sheet. Senior debt 60. That matches the thing. Opening. Okay, debt. Oops. Thank you. No, don't need my memories right now. Senior, where's the debt? Here, senior loan data. Opening balance, annual interest rate, remaining term 9 years, and it's paying equal principal repayments over 9 years. Okay, so equals minus this over 9. Again, I'm not going to link it because I'm being hasty. Okay, so let's see. That means in 3 years you paid off 1/3. That fits good. Then the interest. 3.5 rate, equal principal payments. When does the principal payments happen throughout the year? Calculate interest against the average loan balance. Okay, cool. So equals average of this times the rate, which is here. No, sorry, that's the wrong rate. It's this one, 58. Very important to point to the right cell. About 2 million, that seems right. Okay, expansion loan. Oops. And again, I'm going to want, oops, opening repayment, closing interest. Obviously it starts off at 0. I guess I should add in scroll. Okay, so bank will provide 75% of the expansion capex drawn on the last day in 23. Okay, so again, I should make this flexible, but I'm not going to. Expansion capex is here times 75%. Okay, and how is it repaid? paid over 12 years equal principal repayments. Okay, so then equals minus this over, sorry, lock that over 12. Okay, then the interest is going to be the average of this and this. Actually, no, I don't want to do that because this year there's going to be no interest, so I'm just going to fudge it again and just manually only start it from here. It's all terrible practice in the real world, but I do it because I'm in a rush and it's exam conditions. Okay, so that's that interest. And then there's a revolver, which we don't need until the end, so I'm not going to touch it for now. I guess I should actually touch it, at least to set it up. Revolver. So again, opening, draw repayment, just call it net change. Closing, interest. And I'll take this, put it all down here. Starts at 0. That's TBD, that's fine. And then the interest, we just want to multiply by a different rate, which is here somewhere, here. Okay, and everything else we can kind of size later. Okay, so now I just want to sum up my principal payments and my interest. So my principal payments is this plus this plus, actually I guess what I really want is my principal change. So I'll take both of those plus, because I'm thinking about this for my cash flow statement. And then my total interest is going to be this interest plus this, yes, plus, it's not the right row yet, plus that. Okay, so then over here, I need to put in interest expense here. That is here. Tax I'll figure out later. And then down here, I need to put principal change. So in other words, accepting drawdowns and having trouble with payback. Now my balance sheet should be unbalanced, and then when I put back in the senior debt, it should become balanced once again. So this, that balances the first year because the expansion debt doesn't come in until later. And then when I put in the expansion debt, it should balance out every year. And it does, good. And then the revolver, I'll link in as well. Even though I don't, whoa, sorry, wrong one. Even though I'm not using that yet. Okay, so that's debt, balance sheet balances. Okay, equity, dividends, taxes. Share capital is not changing. Effective tax rate is 23% from earnings before tax. Okay. Let me just see if I do this times 23%, does it match last year? It does. That's vaguely reassuring. Again, I'm just hard coding the heck out of it here because I'm being super lazy, but okay. So that's tax. There's nothing about tax deferrals or anything funky. Then dividends. So come down here. Dividend. And the plan is 50% of its net income to common. Distribution happens on the last day of the year, so it's going to be minus 50% times net income. And then we need to subtract that off from here, and then my balance sheet balances again. Happy days. Opening balance sheet is done. Company valuation. So, okay, let's do valuation. We want to do it a few different ways. 6 valuation. So comp. So what do I want? 12. Yes, EBITDA. Which is up here. EBITDA. Value. Just 9x that. If I can find it quickly, I'll use that. Be a little bit good about it.